Hello everyone, I'm Anthony, the Eclectic Chef. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to first make an absolutely top shelf tomato sauce from both canned and fresh tomatoes. And then we're going to use that sauce in making an absolutely divine restaurant quality triple tomato vodka cream tomato pasta sauce. Stick around, I think you'll enjoy this. We have Muir Glen organic, no salt added, fire roasted tomatoes. We'll have a conversation about that in a minute, but I really like the taste. We have some organic grape tomatoes from Mexico, which I've washed, a small shallot, some basil from the garden, and 2 cloves of garlic. We're not going to overload the garlic, we just want a little bit of background flavour. So, why are we using the Muir Glen here on the left, as opposed to using a San Marzano tomato, which is probably the top of the shelf when it comes to tin tomatoes? It's really pretty simple. I just happen to really like the taste of these Muir Glen tomatoes. By the way, they did not sponsor this video, and these are not cheap. I have to find them from Amazon. As I recall, they're a little over $3 a can. So no, they're not cheap, but the taste is worth it, particularly this fire roasted variety. And there's no salt in them. So Cento is great if you want to do that. I wouldn't argue with you, but I'm going with Muir Glen today. Okay, so here's our finely chopped shallot, which we are going to sweat down before we add the grape tomatoes and cook them out of their skins. Here we are at the start, just sweating our shallots. Some people may question the addition of shallots to this tomato sauce. Look, shallots probably have more sugar in them than most of the other members of the allium family. And I find they give a really delicate background taste to sauces, so I'm putting some in my tomato sauce. Others may differ, personal choice. So with the shallots softened, we've added the cherry tomatoes. And we're going to cook these right down. Don't worry about the skins and the seeds, all this is going to a food mill before we join it with the canned tomatoes, basil and garlic in a blender. So here are our tomatoes, all cooked down. I took a potato masher to them just to make it easier to get them through the mouli. And I'll put them through the food mill now. Then combine them with the canned tomatoes, the garlic, the onion, and then we'll start reducing. By the way, you see here part of the problem with tomatoes. They have a lot of water, so we are going to have some reduction ahead of us. Now, I'd thought about trying to use maybe my chinois or a flat bed filter, but I think this is probably just the easiest way to do it. You can see how the skins and the seeds are being left behind. We'll finish this up and get back to you. Is what we're left with after everything's been through the food mill. As you can see, we've got a little bit of tomato pulp, lots of water. We're going to combine this with our basil, garlic, and the canned tomatoes and blend it and reduce it down heavily. So here we go, folks. Our tin of tomatoes, our cooked tomatoes, our basil and our garlic, and a little bit of black pepper, all in the blender. Let's give it a whirl. I'm not going to make you listen to that, but now we have a nice smooth sauce. We're going to pop it back in the saucepan and reduce it. So here's our tomato sauce after it's been blended. I want you to see the consistency. We really do need to reduce this, thicken it, and concentrate the flavours a little bit. So we'll get this to simmering over a low heat and come back to you in a little while. After about 50 minutes of simmering and bubbling, we've got this tomato sauce about where we want it. You can always reduce it a little more if you need to, but we've used a whisk here, kept it stirred so nothing's stuck. We'll let this cool down, put it in a jar, save it, come back and show you a couple of different applications for it, one of which may be in a separate video. But for now, this looks good. And by the way, I've had a taste. Very, very tomatoey. The basil, garlic, shallot do not overpower or intrude at all. It really is a very tomatoey tomato sauce. So we got what we aimed for. Back in a bit. This single section of the video may put you off wanting to make your own tomato sauce, because this is what we have after a tin of tomatoes, a pound of cherry tomatoes that we put through the moulis, basil, garlic, shallot. This is what we have. You know, it's not a lot. It's very tasty, absolutely delicious, but I can't say we have a lot. But we can make two dishes from this, which we're going to show you, one of which will be in a separate video. This is the pasta we're going to use to show you one of the variants of our tomato sauce, which is going to be vodka, cream, parmesan with some slivered sun-dried tomatoes. I actually think this is the pinnacle of tomato sauce on pasta. We picked this pasta because it really has a lot of embossed ridges to catch our sauce. See you back here in a minute. And here are our sauce additives to go with our rigatoni. I'm going to have some vodka. Jeff Smith, the frugal gourmet, always used to say the cheaper the vodka, the better the sauce. We're neither cheapest nor best, just simple old Smirnoff, some cream, and some freshly grated parmesan. And we're going to trim it up with some shreds of sun-dried tomato. This will be a knockout pasta tomato sauce dish, trust me. Well, before we proceed, folks, I think it's worth our while to have just a quick discussion about alcohol in cooking. Just about every person who's serious about their cooking should have a copy of Harold McGee's book, which you can see here. I'd suggest looking on thriftbooks.com, where you might pick one up at a reasonable price. McGee tells us that alcohol can be quite harsh in flavours, but if we can get it down to about 1%, it really does improve esters and aromas from food. He tells us something else though, and that is how much alcohol stays in the food after we've added it per quantity. So for a long simmered dish, it's probably 5%. In quick cooked dishes, it can be 10 to 50%. And in flambés, actually, even though you see a lot of flames, you could have up to 75% of the alcohol left. The message for me there is be judicious about how much you add. The other person who talks about this is Kenji in his book, The Food Lab, and he does lean on McGee's work. But he actually did a taste test and agreed with McGee's suggestion that we only want 1% of alcohol in our sauce. So, what's the take home? When we're adding vodka to our top shelf tomato cream sauce, A, we don't want to add too much, and B, we want to make sure that we simmer it long enough to get the alcohol percentage down. Just something for you to think about. You don't want a harsh tasting pasta sauce. Here's our tomato sauce with vodka, cream, and Parmesan cheese added. Quite a liquid sauce. Starting to adhere a little bit, so we'll throw the pasta in here, dress it and show you what it looks like with the garnish. Here we are, folks. I firmly believe this is probably about the best pasta with tomato sauce you will eat anywhere. Packed full of tomato flavour, bit of vodka, bit of cream, bit of cheese and sun-dried tomatoes. The temptation to sprinkle pine nuts, basil chiffonade, cheese on the top. No, this is a tomato sauce. So let's just enjoy it for what it is. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe.